Welcome your faces back to episode number 54 of the series Profit or Loss, where I buy faulty tech from eBay, attempt to fix it, and sell it for a profit. This is Sally's spectacular spreadsheet where I log that profit, and last week, episode number 53, we had a GPU. I should probably put specifically a 3080 Ti. The parts that I need to replace on this and stress test it to make sure it's all good haven't arrived yet, so I'm treating this as like a part one. Today we're going to move on to episode number 54. Just a reminder, we are currently on an actual total profit of £1,682.61. Today is a good day. I've actually gone and paid £600 for 4 ROG ALLYS. One of them wasn't in a original box, which is why I haven't included it. And in this episode, I'll be happy if I get through 2 of them. Now, just as an FYI as well, I have a ROG ALLY that's been sat on my shelf for about a year. So I'm thinking if I can manage to get all 4 working, perhaps I can take the parts from this console. Or if one of these become faulty, can I take the parts from here and put it on that one to make it work? Either way, it's going to be super interesting, and I'm really looking forward to trying to fix something a little bit different. I've looked on all the boxes and they say that they are the Z1 Extreme model, which means that they're basically more expensive. And I think I see them go for around about £300 if I'm able to fix them. So I paid £600. If I can fix all 4, we're looking at £1,200, £600 profit. Can you imagine? That in its entirety would finish up the season. Are we going to do that today, or will I get stuck on 1, 2, maybe 3? Who knows? Type down below how many you think I'm going to get through in this particular episode. Let me tell you, buckle up, because it's an interesting one. It's not for the faint-hearted, this episode. Sit back, relax, grab your brew, and enjoy. I have 4 ROG ALLYS that I need to fix. For each of them, I paid £150. I've already been told that there's a couple in there from the BIOS faults that we have might be quite fixable. So it's going to be interesting. Today, we are trying to fix a ROG ALLY. Well, I know what the faults are, but I don't know which ones have the faults, if that makes any sense. So this one came as is. There we go. Yeah, I agree. I think this does look in good condition. A couple things I need to bear in mind. One of them is that, I mean, it's opened from what I can tell. You know, we've got some of the, oh yeah, oh, okay. Well, it's got no screws in the back of it. I definitely wasn't expecting that. This one specifically does say RC71L. I don't know if they're the Z1 Extreme model. It has been opened before. Straight off the bat, I can see it's been opened because the sticker has been penetrated. Like, surely if you're buying one of these, you should be able to tell if it's a Z1 Extreme or whether it's just a Z1. Because the Z1 Extremes go for a lot more money, no? I'm going to go ahead and assume then that this one is also a Z1 Extreme. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 1 amp. I see a charging light, so we do get the charging light down here. I wonder if this is the backlight one. Going to see if anything else happens. It's a nice healthy draw. So we've got about 20 watts at the moment. See if I can power it on. I don't know where the power button is on this. No movement. Hold it down. Here we go. 1.7. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's go. This one powers on. This is not the backlight one. Which one is this? Before we continue any further with this video, a big shout out to today's video sponsor, PCBWay. Are you somebody who needs custom parts quick time? PCBWay makes it ridiculously easy with their instant quote tool. Just upload your Gerber files for the PCB and you are ready to go. The customization on this website is unmatched. They don't just do PCBs either. They offer CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and even injection molding. It's all there for the taking. And if you're personally stuck for ideas on what to make or just love a good browse, check out their shared projects and online shop, packed with community builds and parts ready to order. Hit the link in the description and give it a try. It's doing some business. 1.8. Still booting. 1.9. Coming up to around about 38 watts or so. 1.9. Still figuring some stuff out. 1.9. It's dropped to 1.5. I'm still going to give it a little bit of time just to see what happens. Let me hold it down, see what happens. Will that switch it off? Because is it technically on now? Yeah, it's just dropped to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's now off. So if I hold the power button down, I've just got the vibration to the nation. We're up to 2 amps. I imagine that I'm going to see that logo again. So this must be one whereby the logo appears and then it's almost hanging, essentially. So I'm thinking this could be our BIOS one, to be honest. I don't know, because I still haven't seen the ALLY logo yet. It takes a long time to boot though. It takes a very long time. And when I say boot, even just to show the ALLY logo. What, and it's just now nothing. So we're going with volume down and power. Hold. Okay, I've got the vibration again. I'm going to release the power button. I don't know if I'm meant to. Have I messed up already? Probably. and I'm holding down the minus volume. Pushing 2.1 is just dropped down now. Again, it's not happening. It should have booted into BIOS now, right? Let me try and turn it on now. Here we go. Oh, okay, fine. Don't tell me that's fixed it, because that booted very quick. Don't tell me that's fixed it. Still holding. I wonder if it's just like, if that's reset the BIOS and it's just throwing a little bit of a paddy right now. Or do we think that this is the stuck on logo? Yeah, maybe the stuck on logo situation. I kind of want to remove the SSD to see what happens and to see if our symptoms change. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if it is SSD, that'd be so simple. Let's just remove the SSD, because that's really simple, right? That's just really, really simple. Let's plug her in. 0.5, 2.3. Hold. Okay, let's try and power it on. Here we go. That was just charged then, I think, the 2.5 amps. Battery must be quite depleted. Okay, so with SSD out, it's doing the same. Now, this could be a bunch of different things. I mean, faulty BIOS kind of sounds logical, right? I mean, it might not be, but it's definitely something that I feel like I should check. It's been taken apart as well, so I also need to bear this in mind. So I'm thinking, let me disassemble, see if there's anything that somebody's done to mess this up, essentially. Where's my tweezers? Now, first things first, I'm doing a visual inspection. Why am I doing a visual inspection? Because somebody else has been inside this device to the point of actually removing the CPU cooler. So I'm just checking for obvious things. Now, we do still get a boot because somebody might have knocked a component perhaps when they went inside it, you know, and I have to check for all of those little things. That cap there, I'm just checking above the CPU. So this is a chip. Oh, does that look like it's been soldered? Now I'm thinking this is factory only because of the fact there's no flux residue from what I can see. Like if I bend the board, there's like not a single bit of flux residue on here. So I would then go ahead and assume that this is actually factory. And am I right in thinking the BIOS is on the other side then? So it's like the back of the device. Hello, my friend. That's the BIOS chip, right? I think we start with that then, hey? Let's see if it's a BIOS issue. This is annoying, hey? Because look at the plastic connector. Like, why is the plastic connector there? You know what I mean? Pin 1 is supposedly, by looking at this, up here. I think. I hope it doesn't touch the pins. No, it won't do. Shouldn't do anyway. Shouldn't being the keyword here. To be fair, I could heat this from underneath. Yeah, I could do that. Ground plane under the chip. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to reach the pins. Oh, I see what you're saying. No. I mean, we're about to find out. Let's put it that way. I think it's going to be a really close call. Oh, there's plastic on the bottom as well. Oh, no. Luckily, it's only singed because it's not sitting flat. How strange. Solder on the chip is probably why it's not sitting flat. This, you see this moving about? Lord, the glove is just sliding everywhere. Chill out. Sit. What on earth? What? It's the ground plane, isn't it? Yeah, the ground plane's doing its job, man. How are you meant to do this? This is impossible. No, the ground plane's too big, man. It's not sitting. I might be able to solder it. I might have to. I don't have a choice. It's soldered. I don't know if all of them are soldered. One of them is soldered. They're all soldered. Nice. That is definitely the way. Lovely jubbly. I'm happy with that. So I already got the 1.8 adapter plugged in, so I literally just plug it into this. Let me give it a quick clean. I won't show the BIOS situation on here, but I essentially had to download the BIOS for the ASUS ROG Ally. And then with the help of somebody called Loki from the JDT community, he was able to assist me in putting that image onto the BIOS chip and completely flashing it in the hopes that this was going to fix the device. All right, big moment of truth, just to put it back in the chassis and see if it works. I mean, if this does work, I'll be dumbfounded because that'll be absolutely amazing. Moment of truth. In 3, 2, 1. Have we fixed this ROG Ally? And was it a BIOS issue? What? 3, 2, 1. Now I need to push the power on button here for it to actually turn on, as far as I'm aware. What? I didn't push anything. I promise you I didn't push anything. It's not hanging. It vibrated. It might be doing memory training. Nothing. I feel like I should have booted by now. And there's no LEDs showing up, is there? That's another thing, isn't it? So like on the one that I fixed previously, oh, the B button, I've done this last time as well. The B button is stuck down because I haven't put it back together correctly, but that's fine because I had to take it apart anyway. I think this goes to show to me we've got the exact same symptoms, and I've put what's known as a good BIOS on, and we have the exact same. Could still be a bad BIOS chip. That there is a possibility that that could be the case, and the BIOS chip itself is broken. But as people were saying in the chat previously, this specific issue hanging on this screen could be BIOS, RAM, CPU. Could be any of those. We don't really know. I am leaning more so towards now the RAM and CPU than it being a BIOS issue, purely because of the fact that we have the exact same thing. Maybe try press on CPU RAM. Thing is as well though, it doesn't actually look like it's taken any drop damage, right? This being dropped with like balls broken or something, but I can't really see how this has been, and it's not bent. So the ITE chip, I'm assuming that's going to be fine with this, because I think I've got another board that needs an ITE chip, FYI. So I could take the ITE chip from this one and put it on that board and see if I can get that one working. Because I think the other one that I've got is a 5 volts situation. 20 volt working ITE. Yeah, I think the board that I've got up here is actually a 5 volts. What do we think? Because I've replaced one that didn't have 5 volts with the IT and it works fine. I sold it. This is the other one that I have, which has been in my possession for such a long time. And if I go to put this on, so this isn't connected to anything. And as far as I'm aware, just the board itself should go up to 20 volts low-key without anything connected. Is that true? So if I go ahead and plug this one in, which is also, I said, one extreme, this one is only 5 volts. And this one, I don't think goes to that like second stage, 500 milliamps, and then up to 2.1 to whatever it is to charge the battery. That's not going to happen because I don't have the battery connected anyway. So I've only got 5 volts on this one. So I think then what I could do is, for the time being, take the ITE from this one to make this one work. So what you're about to see is a stream from 2 days later. And the first thing I wanted to do was just test the CPU to ensure that it was definitely faulty. And the way we're going to be able to establish that is if it has a lot of heat coming from one singular point on the CPU, because the CPU die is meant to spread that heat evenly and not just pinpoint itself. Here we go. Oh, that corner. Oh, look at that. Is that what we're looking at right now? Look at that corner. Did you see that? That was right on boot. It was over here and the device is turned off. So it is shutting down. Okay, that's good. So I can try that again then, can't I? There we go. Look at that in the corner. 52 degrees. Down the bottom left, 62. See that? How cool does this CPU look under here, by the way? What? That's so cool. It's just shut down again. I'll do it one more time. There we go. Straight down to that corner. So this side, 40, 39. This side, 70, 80. No, it's not a specific area. It's just like, well, it's an area on the back of the CPU, but it'll turn off. Yeah, it's turned off. I think that's on the die. So Loki has confirmed in Discord and said that it's a dead APU. Use the ITE and backlight chip to fix the 2 others. So I'm sorry if the story has been a little bit all over the place, but I wasn't able to fix the ASUS ROG Ally that I paid £150 for. And as we confirmed that it was a faulty CPU, I thought it would be best to use a chip from that on a board that I had for an ASUS ROG for probably over a year to see if I can get that working. I don't know if it was included in Profit or Loss Season 1 or whether I just done it as a live stream, but I think for the sake of this video and for Profit or Loss, I'm going to include it if I'm able to fix it. Bearing in mind that I would have spent $150 on the faulty one, whatever profit I get from selling this other one, I'll take that cost into consideration. That is obviously if I can fix it. It should just be this one little power chip, right? The chip that we inspected the other day with Loki was this one right over here. It's a tiny, tiny chip. And we were just making sure that we get 5 volts on it, which we did. So the 5 volt negotiation here is okay. The chip that we need to change is in fact this bad boy right here. It's called the ITE chip. Fun fact, when I did fix my first ever ROG Ally, I tried buying some of these from AliExpress. Top tip, don't do that because they don't come programmed. You need to program the chip in order for it to actually work. Good thing is that the board that we've been working on, I can harvest this chip and use it on this board, which is broken. What I'm going to do first is show you what I get plugging this one in. So you know how we just had 20 volts on the other ROG Ally? You should see in the top right, we only get 5. Can you see that up there? 5 volts, 90 milliamps. The test that we done the other day on stream was around this chip here. And what I did was measure on this cap right here or it might have been this cap, to ensure that we get 5 volts. If we get 5 volts here as taught by Loki, it means that this chip is actually okay. What I need to do is change out this IC, which to be fair, shouldn't take me too long. It should just be a nice swap. So let's do that. And then hopefully we can get this ROG Ally working and use the other one for other parts, because we do have a backlight issue on another ROG Ally that I've purchased. So maybe I can then use that chip to have the backlight working. And how good would that be? 400, oh yeah, 420. We've got a couple of buttons in the area, but nothing like plastic that's close to anything. So just go 420 will be more than suffice here. I'm not going to use any flux for this part either. Rotate my hot air and pull this straight off the board like that. There we go. And now I'm going to take the one from our donor. Me personally, I'm not going to use any replacement solder, no leaded solder, nothing like that. I'm just going to simply come back in with the heat here. Make sure that that is nice and molten, which I think it is. Can't ever be too sure. I'll place that down. It's at a little bit of an angle, so I'm just going to scoot it around if I can, just like that. Come off the hot air. Now I'm going to come in with a tiny little bit of flux here. Nothing usually is wrong with the solder. It's always the chip. So a little bit of flux. Come back in with our hot air. I'm just going to float this back into place. So come back in. And then we should see the chip sit nice and flat. See where that solder's starting to molten again. Give it a little nudge. There we go, it's in place, see that? Come off the heat, and we should be good to go. If it's not soldered, it's quite a tricky chip in the sense of it might need a bit of pushing down. The reason why I'm saying that is I'm looking at the top. Can you see at the top here? It looks like maybe these solder pads here, we don't have a great connection. So what I'm going to do quick is just rotate the board, and I'll zoom in the microscope if I have to see if I've got a connection on those pads. There's 2 ways of fixing this. Going around it with a soldering iron, or just pushing down. To be honest with you, I think they're going to be connected. I might go for a push down quick though. See if I can squeeze a little bit out. I'll just go for a little push down. So push down is exactly what I say on the tin. Very lightly. Oh, it's not really in focus, is it? Very lightly here. Hold down. Come back in with the heat. Come off the heat. Hold with your tweezer, then come off. Now, we've got a little solder ball at the top. That's fine. Just warm up our soldering iron. Just put a little drab of flux there. I just tap that like that. There we go. And now I'm just going to inspect, make sure I've got no other blobs around the IC after that squeezage, but it looks all good. So now I'll come in for a clean. The ball's going to be hot, but I'm going to come in with some IPA and a toothbrush over my microfiber cloth. There we go. Cool. Cool. That side all good. That side, as we can see, now connected, all good, because that pushed down, I reckon. And just this side finally. Yeah, all fine. Right, do we get our 20 volts? That's the question, or do we just still sit on our 5? Remember the truth. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, this is really good. 19.5, it's perfect. Okay, so it's gone up to our 20 volts. Now what I need to do is put it back in the chassis and test it and see if it's working. I'm so happy that we can get this working. And the fact that I can actually write this one off and call it a donor as well is also hugely beneficial. Because this one, I didn't want to do that. I held on to it for, like I said, over a year. This has been sat on my shelf for over a year. Right, let's put it back in the chassis. This is the original chassis, isn't it? Nerve-wracking. All the buttons seem A-okay. Will it boot? 98% said yes. If it doesn't boot, that is going to be the biggest upset of the series. 3, 2, 1. Plug it in the USB-C. Boom. Okay. What do we get? We get 19. This should go up to 500. And then 2.3 or something. 1.5. Okay, so that tells me... Ooh. Oh, no. The only thing I can think of is if the battery is full. Okay, let me try. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it doesn't work. Did you plug in the power? Yeah, because look, when I push the power connector, watch what happens. Look, it bumps up to 300 milliamps. But then does nothing. And then jumps to 0. And then back up to 250. This should go up to 500, which it did originally. Is it just empty? Let's just leave it. Yeah, it's a very good point, Steve. Very weird that it went up to 500 and then back down to 250 if it was flat. You're right. It's almost like it tries to power on again and fails. Let's take it apart and see what is going on. I wonder if it's the solder around the IC. But where I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know if it is that, is because of the fact that we get the 20 volts, right? And if the soldering was bad around the IC, I would assume that we wouldn't get the 20 at all. And that's when I would have investigated that. Oh wait, that chip is hot. That chip without any power is drawing 15 milliamps, and that's that IC. That's drawing 30. That's 30 degrees. 30 is fine. Oh, okay, fine. Just in standby. So what does it operate at? Is it like the BQ IC? Yeah, it's the only chip on the board at the moment that's showing any signs of heat. 30 is fine. So I'm measuring standby and see if I get the voltages around this chip. I'm sure I can. If I get 20 volts, I'm assuming I'm going to get that in standby. Maybe not. It might require turn on, but I get 1 volt here. I had 1 volt here. There we go, 20 volts. So I get 20 volts negotiate. So I get 20 volts here, right? Can you see that? There's my 20. 3.3. I get my 8 volt and I get 3.3. Where's my 5? So we got 5 here. So 5 here travels down here, right? Wait, what? Oh, no, it doesn't travel here. So we get 5 here on this cap, and that's going to be ground. So our 5 is here. Where's the 5 here? Oh, the 5's there. So I do get my 5. So I get my 5. I get 3.3. I've got all my rails. So what it's doing, right? The behavior of this is it's going up to 1.5, and where it should turn on to 2.5. No, sorry. 1.5 is not normal. It should go 500, then 2.5, then on. I'll also try the other battery as well, because why not at this point, right? This is the battery from this one. So now I've not got the analog sticks plugged in. I'm just going to see. So 500, there we go. That's what's meant to happen. That's not meant to happen. It's meant to go up to 2.5. I'm just going to try the battery. Here we go. 500. Does it go 1. Oh, here we go. That's going to work. It's a dud battery. I don't believe it. Guarantee it turns on. Or does it? Wait there. No, it doesn't. It's not the battery. Okay. Now, I believe it's on pin 1 correctly. Pin 1 is here. And Loki saying that pin 1 is 1.8 volt. Hopefully in standby I can get this. 1.8 is fine. I'm happy with the soldering on this IC. Looks like resistor is pushed over on that first view. Oh yeah, I see that. Is that connected? I don't think that's connected. What a great spot, by the way, if this ends up being what it is. Ah, I don't think that's soldered correctly, you know. Lord the glove. What a spot. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's raised one end, yeah, for sure. It might not have had a proper connection. All right, let's measure what I get on it now. And this side. 0.52. Okay, what's that resistor I issued? Do we get that boot sequence? Go. 500. 1.3. 1.4. Okay, let's see if it turns on. So we're looking for, I think, around about a 2.5, I think. Or maybe even a 3.1 or so. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. The orange light's gone off and it's just gone to 0. Look. So same thing. And now it's back on. Check the cap right above that 25 coil. This one. Open line. Ground that side. Open line. Wait, is that the low impedance? 25, yeah. Should I take it out and plug in the battery, do it the other side, and see if I get a heat spot on the other side? They're all red herrings. You get 400 ohms on this in this specific area. What do you get in diode mode? 137. Oh no, wait, 0.8 do I get? I get 0.08. And you get 0.137, yeah? That's a bit of a difference. Can't really argue that my board's hot either, because it's been a long time since I worked on it. I didn't know there's an IT chip here as well. Oh yeah, this is the EC. What does EC stand for again, guys? Embedded controller. 1.8. I get 1.8 here, 3.3. So I get 3.3 here and here, which I'm assuming is meant to be normal. It's on, technically. 0.12. 0.12. The memory voltage isn't working. They're telling me we could have bad RAM on this. Yeah, 0.12. Oh, it should be 3.3 for the power good. So this one up here should be 3.3. So do we think it could just be the transistor that's reporting to the EC, not actually handling the voltages? Okay, so what you're saying is potentially this chip could be bad. Core voltage is not present sometime maybe before that. So memory voltage in the boot sequence is bad. Memory is usually one of the last things to get. No. Oh, okay, fine. So not this chip. Something else. So common for that to be RAM, says Steve. AP, you got warm. So did this area. Yeah, the IT chip is getting warm, but not warm. 32, we're pulling on the ITE. 1.1 is generated by the APU. Don't tell me this, mate. What are the chances, though, logically, that the 5 volt to 20 volt can go and we replace that chip, but then the APU is affected? Like, what is the chances of that happening? I mean, it would be very slim, right? Diode readings around the RAM. We roughly go around the caps surrounding the RAM chips for another 30 minutes or so. I was comparing to the board that we worked on first in this video, and I had the exact same readings, but obviously that was a dead APU. When confirming with the person who was helping, Loki, big shout out to Loki, thank you so much for assisting me with this video, he was saying that some of the readings around the RAM chips were actually incorrect. We did, however, have different RAM as well. So after we kind of confirmed all of that, there was only one more thing to do, which is test around the APU to see if we get a hotspot, which would then signal another faulty APU. But not before this actually happened, which I fixed really quickly, but I think I just spent so long trying to fix this device that my brain was a bit fried, like me frying the board. I can't get it to turn on. Wait there. Oh, I shorted something out with the power button. Oh, now I think I fried it. We're creating more issues here, hey? Yeah, look at that. Let's see if we have a short. Yeah, me too. Okay, fine. Well, it should be an easy replacement. Wait, is that ground? This is ground, right? And that's the rail. Okay, fine. Well, hopefully that's okay. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's going to matter. We're back up to 500. Good. This is the APU, and we're going to see if we can find any hotspots. Power on. We get a 41 at the bottom. See that? See at the bottom how it's heating up? Just pulled off the thing. Can you see at the bottom down there? Here? And then off, and it cools down. And that's not happening anywhere else, is it? Really? 2 for 2 on the APU? I don't know if there's an internal short. I mean, it could be RAM. What I'm saying is it's definitely not an easy fix. It's not a put a chip on and replace it sort of situation. And I thought it was going to be that because it had been sat around and I didn't have the 5. So I thought if I change out that ITE chip, I then get the 20 and this just would bish bash bosh, it would work. But that hasn't been the reality, unfortunately. And there's pretty much that. Everybody was in agreement that they thought it was the APU that was at fault. I mean, I'm still kind of on the fence between the APU or the RAM itself. But because this is a device that I'm not comfortable with, it makes that decision a lot harder. So if I just quickly fill in the details, and this specific ROG Ally again costs £150. Estimated sell price, I'm just probably going to keep as parts for the time being, which completely makes sense. I'm also going to run the update on the 3080 Ti, taking away the cost of £204.25 as well. So we're going to be a bit down in the dumps at the moment. Well, I can't actually believe it. We're back down at 1328.36, which is a little bit shocking, but I still have 3 other ROG Allies to try and claw back a profit. Plus, if the 3080 Ti is working, that's going to be big profit as well. So even though it looks bad at 1,300 quid, actually, if the next ROG Allies go well and I manage to get the 3080 Ti up and running, we still clear the £2,000. Let's just say we've invested a bit heavier in these items. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and as always, I shall see you in the next one. Peace.